Take a deep breath with me and pause for a moment. Not to escape from the world, but to truly look at yourself. Because before we talk about becoming a high-value woman in 2026, we need to understand one simple truth. Your value is not something you chase after, it is something you develop from within. A high-value woman does not constantly announce her worth. She does not depend on endless approval. She does not define herself by likes, attention, compliments, or praise. Her strength begins on the inside, and that inner strength quietly appears in the way she thinks, the way she speaks, and the way she carries herself through life. In 2026, the world will continue moving quickly. Trends will change, opinions will become louder, expectations may become even more confusing. In a world like that, becoming a high-value woman means learning how to create stability within yourself. When everything around you becomes noisy, you learn how to remain calm. When everyone is rushing forward, you learn patience. When other people react without thinking, you give yourself a moment to reflect first. And this is where the real transformation begins. There is a simple story about a diamond and a piece of glass placed beside each other. From far away, they may appear almost identical. Both can shine, both can catch the light, but only one can survive intense pressure. A diamond becomes stronger through pressure, while glass can easily crack and break. Life will place pressure on you too. Relationships will test you. Responsibilities will challenge you. Disappointments will come. People may misunderstand you. Plans may fail. But a high-value woman does not allow pressure to destroy her identity. She allows difficult experiences to shape her, strengthen her, and teach her. And remember this, because it matters more than you may realize. The way you handle pressure reveals the woman you are becoming. One of the strongest qualities of a high-value woman is emotional maturity. She understands what she feels instead of allowing every emotion to control her behavior. She can feel deeply and still respond wisely. When she is hurt, she does not immediately search for revenge. When she receives praise, she does not allow it to make her arrogant. She understands that emotions carry information, but they do not have to become the driver of her life. In 2026, I want you to understand this at a deeper level. Reacting immediately may give you a temporary feeling of power, but responding with intention is real strength. Silence is not weakness. Boundaries are not selfish. Saying no does not automatically make you rude or difficult. Sometimes saying no is simply a way of showing that you know yourself. A high-value woman respects her time because she understands that time is life moving forward. She does not spend endless hours explaining herself to people who have already chosen not to understand her. She does not keep proving her intentions to someone committed to misunderstanding them. Instead, she places her energy where there is growth, respect, honesty, and mutual effort. There was once a young woman who spent all her time trying to water plants that were already dead. Every day she gave them more water. Every day she blamed herself because nothing changed. She thought perhaps she was not trying hard enough. One day, a gardener watched her and gently said, "The problem is not your effort. The problem is where you are putting it." That simple lesson can change the way you look at your entire life. In 2026, a high-value woman learns to choose the right soil, the right habits, the right environment, the right relationships, the right opportunities. She stops believing that more effort will always fix the wrong situation. Sometimes the answer is not to try harder. Sometimes the answer is to choose better. And this is one of those lessons you should never forget. Another powerful quality is self-discipline. Motivation will appear and disappear. Some mornings you will feel inspired. Other mornings you will not want to do anything at all. But discipline does not depend on your mood. Discipline remains when motivation disappears. A high-value woman does not sit around waiting to feel motivated before taking care of her body, her mind, or her responsibilities. She understands that discipline is one of the clearest forms of self-respect. She wakes up knowing that her future is being created through the small decisions she makes every single day. What she eats, what she listens to, what she allows into her mind, what she accepts from other people, what she chooses to walk away from. These decisions may look small in the moment, but over time they build a powerful identity. And this is something you need to remember, because your life is often shaped more by what you repeatedly do than by what you occasionally feel. Confidence is also often misunderstood. Confidence does not mean living without fear. It means becoming comfortable with who you are while still being willing to improve. A high-value woman knows her imperfections exist, but she refuses to let those imperfections become her identity. She works on herself without constantly attacking herself. She corrects herself without destroying her self-respect. There is a beautiful balance inside her. She can be humble and still strong. She can be kind and still firm. She can be gentle and still impossible to break. In relationships, she does not chase people who are unwilling to meet her halfway. She attracts through alignment with herself. She does not beg for love, attention, reassurance, or effort. She understands that genuine connection becomes easier when mutual respect already exists. If something requires constant force just to survive, she has the wisdom to question whether it truly belongs in her life. And here is a lesson worth remembering. Being alone is often healthier than being disrespected, and peace is far more valuable than chaos pretending to be love. A high-value woman also develops the habit of continuous learning. She never assumes she knows everything. She reads, she listens, she asks questions, she reflects, she grows. Knowledge gives her understanding, and understanding gives her clarity. Clarity then gives her a deeper kind of confidence. In 2026, being high value does not mean being flawless. It means being conscious. Conscious of your patterns, conscious of your emotional triggers, conscious of your strengths, conscious of the areas where you still need to grow. This level of awareness changes everything, because once you can see yourself clearly, you can finally choose what needs to change. Grace under pressure is another quality that separates inner strength from temporary confidence. Life will challenge you. People will misunderstand you. Plans will fail. Expectations will disappoint you. A high-value woman can feel pain without allowing pain to turn her bitter. She can experience disappointment without becoming cruel. She heals without deciding that she must become cold just to protect herself. There is a story of the lotus flower that grows from muddy water while still rising above it with beauty. The water around it may be dirty, but the flower does not become dirty simply because of where it began. In the same way, a high-value woman learns that difficult surroundings do not have to determine the quality of her character. She can grow in difficult seasons. She can remain graceful while life is messy. She can become stronger without losing her softness. And this is where many people misunderstand strength. Strength is not always becoming harder. Sometimes, strength is learning how to remain good without becoming easy to hurt. She also understands that comparison can quietly steal your peace. In 2026, social media will continue showing you carefully selected highlight reels. You will see other people's success, beauty, relationships, lifestyles, homes, careers, and achievements without seeing the struggles behind them. A high-value woman does not compare her behind-the-scenes life with someone else's edited moments. She stays focused on her own path. She takes care of her body not simply to impress other people, but because her body deserves care. She rests without feeling guilty. She works without constantly complaining. She understands that balance matters. Her speech is thoughtful. She avoids gossip because her attention is too valuable to spend on unnecessary drama. She does not complain endlessly because she would rather search for solutions. She does not insult people simply because she is angry, because she understands that words can leave marks long after the moment has passed. A high-value woman is also spiritually grounded, not only through rituals, but through the principles she chooses to live by. She knows who she is beyond her roles, beyond labels, and beyond the expectations other people place upon her. She forgives not because everyone automatically deserves another chance, but because she deserves freedom from carrying unnecessary anger. And if you remember only one thing from this part, remember this: your peace is also something you are responsible for protecting. In 2026, becoming a high-value woman means choosing long-term peace over short-term pleasure. It means choosing growth over comfort, choosing self-respect over temporary attention, choosing what builds your future instead of what simply makes you feel better for a few minutes. And hear this clearly, because this is where the real transformation begins. You do not become high value overnight. You become high value through daily alignment. Your actions begin matching your values. Your words begin matching your intentions. Your habits begin matching the life you say you want. Your inner world begins becoming more consistent with the future you are trying to create. Walk gently, but stand firmly. Speak softly, but live strongly. Let your growth happen quietly. Let your confidence become natural instead of something you have to announce. Because when a woman genuinely values herself, she does not spend her life trying to convince everyone else of her worth. Her behavior communicates it. Her boundaries communicate it. Her choices communicate it. Her peace communicates it. The world eventually responds to what she consistently teaches it about how she expects to be treated. And that is how you step into 2026. Not desperately trying to prove your worth, but finally living from it. Becoming a high-value woman is also not about rejecting your softness. It is about combining softness with strength. Society may tell women that they must choose. Be kind or be powerful. Be gentle or be respected. Be understanding or protect yourself. But a high-value woman understands that she does not have to choose between these qualities. She can be caring without being naive. She can understand someone without allowing them to use her. She can forgive without reopening a door that should remain closed. She can love deeply while still having standards. And in 2026, one of the biggest changes you can make is changing the way you treat yourself when you fail. Yes, you will make mistakes. You will trust people who were not right for you. You will make decisions that later teach you better lessons. You will sometimes take the wrong path. But a high-value woman does not spend the rest of her life punishing herself for being human. She learns, she adjusts, she takes responsibility. Then she keeps moving forward with more wisdom, not more bitterness. There is a story about a potter who created hundreds of pots. Some of them cracked while being fired. Instead of throwing every damaged pot away in frustration, he studied those cracks. He wanted to understand what went wrong with the heat, the material, and the process so he could improve his craft. Life will place you in the fire too. You will experience pressure. You will experience moments that expose your weaknesses. But instead of constantly asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is this experience teaching me?" That single question can change the direction of your life. A high-value woman becomes deeply selective, but she does not become arrogant about it. She understands that access to her time, energy, attention, and emotions is something meaningful. She does not keep explaining her standards to people who benefit from her lowering them. She also stops trying to make everyone like her. She realizes that respect matters more than popularity. When you stand firmly for something, some people will become uncomfortable. Some may leave. Let them. A high-value woman does not make herself smaller simply to keep other people comfortable. She does not silence her needs just to avoid disappointing someone. She understands that losing approval is sometimes the price of gaining self-respect. In 2026, she also becomes more financially aware. Not because money defines her value, but because responsibility gives her freedom. She understands that money is a tool, not an identity. She learns how to manage it, respect it, save it, and use it wisely. Financial independence can create choices, and having choices can create peace. Another powerful quality is consistency. Anyone can impress people once. Anyone can look disciplined for a few days. Anyone can make promises when emotions are high. But a high-value woman becomes dependable over time. Her words and actions support each other. People learn that what she says can be trusted because she does not constantly change according to the mood of the moment. She also learns the art of letting go. Not everything requires complete closure. Not every question will receive an answer. Not every ending will make sense. Some chapters simply finish without giving you the explanation you wanted. And that is okay. Peace does not always come from understanding every detail. Sometimes peace comes from accepting what you may never understand. In relationships, she communicates clearly. She does not expect people to read her mind. She expresses her needs calmly, without unnecessary guilt and without aggression. She can say what she needs without turning every conversation into a battle. And when her words are repeatedly ignored, she watches behavior instead of holding on to promises. She pays attention to patterns. A high-value woman does not confuse emotional intensity with love. She does not mistake chaos for passion. She does not confuse attachment with genuine connection. She understands that something can feel powerful and still be unhealthy. She chooses peace, even when peace feels unfamiliar at first. There is a story of a woman who spent her entire life living beside a noisy market. Every day was filled with shouting, movement, arguments, and constant sound. One day, she entered a quiet garden. At first, the silence made her uncomfortable. She almost left because she was so used to noise that peace felt strange. But after sitting there for a while, she realized something important. The silence was not emptiness. The silence was peace. And growth can feel exactly like that. When you have lived with chaos for a long time, peace may feel unfamiliar before it feels safe. So in 2026, you may outgrow people. You may outgrow habits. You may outgrow environments. You may even outgrow older versions of yourself. Do not automatically feel guilty about that. Growth is not betrayal. Growth is evolution. A high-value woman remains patient with her own progress. She understands that real transformation takes time. She celebrates small victories. She keeps showing up, even on ordinary days when nothing dramatic seems to be happening. She knows that consistency is built in those quiet moments nobody else sees. She also learns how to receive compliments, support, kindness, and love without immediately feeling that she does not deserve them. She does not make herself smaller simply to appear humble. True humility is not pretending you have no value. True humility is knowing your value without believing you are better than everyone else. And as she becomes more centered, her presence begins to feel calming. Not because she is trying to control the room, not because she demands attention, but because she is no longer fighting herself internally. She listens more than she speaks. She observes before judging. She thinks before reacting. And sometimes that quiet presence says more than words ever could. When she speaks, her words have weight. They do not need to be loud to be powerful. In 2026, remember this clearly. The world does not need you to become perfect. It needs you to become real, grounded, and aligned with yourself. You become a high-value woman not by constantly doing more, but by becoming more intentional with what you do, by choosing yourself every day, by respecting your values even when nobody is watching. And one day, you will look back and understand that your greatest upgrade was never your appearance, your social status, or your list of achievements. It was your mindset, your boundaries, your self-respect. You will walk into rooms without desperately searching for approval. You will leave situations without carrying unnecessary guilt. You will love deeply without abandoning yourself in the process. That is the quiet strength of a high-value woman. And in 2026, that woman can be you. As you continue walking this path, something subtle but incredibly powerful begins to change. You stop reacting to everything around you. There was a time when every word could affect you, every opinion could shake you, and every comparison could drain your energy. But now you pause, you breathe, you think, then you choose your response. That pause becomes one of your greatest strengths. A high-value woman understands that not every battle deserves her energy, and not every comment requires an answer. Silence, when used wisely, is not weakness, it is wisdom. And this is something you may understand more deeply as you grow. Peace does not come from controlling everything outside of you. It comes from learning how to guide what happens within you. In 2026, you also stop waiting for permission. Permission to dream bigger, permission to rest, permission to say no, permission to change your direction. You finally realize that your life does not need approval stamps from society, relatives, friends, or even the person you used to be. You give yourself permission to grow. There is a story of a woman who spent years asking everyone around her what decision she should make. She wanted someone else to tell her which road was right, which choice was safe, and which direction would make everyone happy. Eventually, she became exhausted from constantly searching outside herself for answers. One day, she sat quietly and listened to her own heart. For the first time, she trusted her own judgment. From that moment forward, even when she made mistakes, she felt stronger. Why? Because her strength was no longer based on always being right. It was based on knowing that she could lead herself. A high-value woman develops emotional maturity. She does not run from difficult conversations simply because they feel uncomfortable. But she also does not create unnecessary drama when simple honesty can solve the problem. She understands that emotional intelligence is far more powerful than loud confidence. She learns how to sit with discomfort without immediately trying to escape it. Instead of covering pain with endless distractions, she allows herself to feel it, understand it, and process it. She realizes that healing is not about pretending the wound never existed. It is about learning not to pass your pain onto people who never caused it. And here is where another major transformation happens. In 2026, you become deeply aware of your own patterns. You notice who drains your energy and who genuinely supports your growth. You notice which habits move you forward and which habits quietly keep you trapped. You begin seeing the difference between what feels familiar and what is actually good for you. That awareness alone begins changing your life. A high-value woman invests in herself every day, and that investment goes far beyond appearance. She invests in learning, health, mindset, emotional growth, and spirituality. She understands that an outer glow cannot remain strong without inner stability. So she builds roots, not just wings. She stops treating other women as competition. Comparison slowly becomes admiration. Insecurity begins turning into inspiration. She understands that another woman's success does not take away from her own possibilities. There is enough room for everyone to rise. She also learns how to be alone without feeling abandoned. Solitude becomes a place where she resets herself, instead of a punishment she tries to escape. She begins enjoying her own company because she has worked hard to become someone she genuinely respects. There is another story of a woman who was terrified of being alone. She remained in unhealthy places simply because silence felt more frightening than discomfort. She kept choosing the wrong company because she believed being alone meant something was wrong with her. Then one year, she finally chose solitude instead of compromise. That year changed everything. In the quiet, she met herself. She discovered what she actually wanted, what she truly valued, and what she would no longer accept. And once she found herself, she never abandoned herself again. That is a powerful lesson. A high-value woman understands that love should add something beautiful to her life, not replace her identity. She does not disappear inside another person simply to be chosen. She chooses herself first, and that creates space for healthier relationships to enter her life. In 2026, you stop chasing validation. You stop overgiving simply because you want to be accepted. You stop explaining your worth to people who have already decided not to recognize it. You understand that people who genuinely value you will not require endless convincing. Your standards rise, not because you believe you are superior to others, but because you have worked hard to heal, learn, grow, and change. You protect that growth with intention. You also discover another kind of forgiveness. You forgive other people, but you also forgive yourself. You forgive the younger version of you who made choices without having the wisdom you have today. You thank her for surviving difficult seasons. You release the guilt she carried for so long, and you move forward with a lighter heart. A high-value woman understands that real growth is rarely loud. It is quiet, it is steady. It often happens where nobody can see it. People may only notice your transformation when they realize they can no longer reach the older version of you. And this is the part you should remember. You do not have to announce your transformation. You simply live it. In 2026, you wake up with more clarity and less chaos. You walk with confidence instead of constantly being guided by fear. You speak with intention instead of reacting from impulse. You begin making choices that reflect the woman you have become. Slowly, your outer life starts mirroring your inner transformation. Not because you spent your time trying to look high value, but because you actually became more aligned with yourself. And that alignment changes everything. As this alignment becomes deeper, you begin noticing a quiet confidence settling into your life. It is not the loud, attention-seeking kind of confidence. It is calmer than that. It is the kind of trust that comes from knowing who you are, what you believe, and what you will no longer compromise. You stop rushing to prove yourself. You let your consistency speak for you. A high-value woman understands that discipline is one of the clearest forms of self-love. She does not wait until she feels motivated before caring for her body, her mind, or her responsibilities. She shows up even on the days when she feels tired, uncertain, or uninspired, because she understands that her future self is being shaped by today's decisions. And here is something important to remember. Your future does not suddenly appear one day. You build it quietly through repeated choices. In 2026, you also learn that healing is not a straight line. Some days you may feel strong, clear, and unstoppable. Other days, old emotions may return unexpectedly. A high-value woman does not attack herself for having those days. She gives herself patience. The same patience she once gave so freely to everyone else. She understands that progress